It is a different freaking car.
Oh my.
So what's going on, kid?
Well, I think I need some carburetor tuning.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I know a guy.
Yes, me too. That's why I'm here.
So what's it doing?
It's stalling and idling just a little bit low. And we've already kind of messed with it at our shop, but we decided we needed an expert. So.
Okay, so what have we done since last year? It now has different heads, got Trick Flow heads on it. So it's got the same cam, same valve train, new Trick Flow intake.
And a 904 instead of the Turbo 350.
Yeah, that's right, you put the 904 in it, okay.
And it has a manual valve body, so.
Ooh. So it also would need a different converter then?
Yes, we got a new converter too.
Okay.
And then a new nitrous system as well.
Right. And let me say this, look how nice Jeffrey does his wiring.
It's obviously not done yet, but yes.
But what is done looks very, very nice. Old man approved.
Oh, he'll love that.
All right, well, let's start it up and let me hear what it sounds like. I haven't seen it or heard it or ridden in it or anything since you put it all back together. Wow, it sounds really good.
It does, I love it.
It sounds really good. It's got good response. I assume that when you put it in gear, that's when you're having trouble.
Yeah.
So, from what I can tell, it is idle a little bit low, and it smells rich.
Yeah.
And you don't have an air fuel ratio monitor in this yet, do you?
No.
So we got to do it old school, and that's okay. It smells rich, so I'm going to go around and check the idle screws and just see where they're at. You hear how it picked up?
Yeah.
So I'm taking fuel away from it, and the idle picked up. So it did smell rich, and it definitely is rich. So I'm going to go ahead and readjust all 4 idle mixture screws, and we'll see what happens. I took a considerable amount of fuel away from it at idle, and now the idle's like way up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn the idle back down to where you want it. What would you like it at? About 1,000?
Probably around there.
Okay.
I think so.
So this carburetor, it's an ATM, and it has a primary and a secondary idle speed screw. And the secondary idle speed screw had the secondary blades open to the point where when you tried to turn the idle down on the front, you couldn't get it down far enough to get it where you wanted it. And by the time you got it there, the throttle cable wouldn't let it return that far, so it would be inconsistent. This is something that a lot of people could learn from. So this is your primary idle speed screw right here. All right. So if you watch the throttle linkage, when the throttle closes, right there is closed, this is opening, closed. This was turned down. I'm gonna show you where it was. This was turned down to the point, see, I'm backing the screw out, and the throttle's not doing anything. You should be able to see that throttle move. Now watch when I tighten it back up. You'll start to see the throttle starting to move.
Yep.
Okay. So in order to get this car to idle where you wanted it to, you would have to turn this idle mixture, or this idle speed screw way out, and then you'd have to push on it. See how I can push on it and close it? It pulls the cable taut, and the cable won't allow the throttle to move as far as it needs to closed. So what I did was I put the idle speed right about there where the throttle cable will allow it to close, and then I come around here on the other side, and then we adjusted the secondary throttle blades closed to the point where it would lower the idle speed where you need it to, and the throttle cable will still close exactly at the same point, same spot every time. So let's fire it back up real quick, and I'll just make sure it's back where I want it.
It's not the most spacious car in the world.
It's a little tight in here for me. What about you, June Pup? She's not gonna miss a ride. God, it's got good throttle response. You hear that? I mean, it is right there. It sounds like Dad's got the timing right where it needs to be too.
Yeah.
This thing's cool. I love this thing.
But this one, you just kind of hit it back in a second.
Okay.
And like take your hand off of it, and then you can push it to third.
What is it, an old cheetah shifter?
Yup.
It's a Mopar thing.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I'm gonna goose it. You ready?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It died on me. Wow.
Dude, it's different. It's a different car.
Dude, it is a different car. It's got a little stumble. We're gonna have to do some accelerator pump tuning. But you know what? I'll bet you that when I got here, remember we were talking about I turned the idle mixture screws in to lean it out?
Yeah.
Okay, now it has this transition lean spot in the fuel curve that the rich idle mixture was covering up. So there's a chance we might need to do a little bit of tuning on the accelerator pump because we need it to idle clean. We need it to idle like it does now.
Yeah.
And it's no big deal. We'll work on that. Okay, so I started it up and ran it out of fuel with the fuel pump off. That way we don't spill fuel everywhere when we take the front bowl off. I think what I'm going to find is probably a 6.5, maybe a 7.5 power valve, and what it probably is going to need is an 8.5 or a 10.5. Pretty drastic. Unfortunately, I don't have either one of those here tonight. So for tomorrow, what I'm considering is blocking the front power valve off and just jetting it up 10 numbers. That's going to give you instant fuel curve, okay, and good throttle response, but it's going to cruise not good. But we're only going from here to the track tomorrow. So let's just take it apart and let's just see what's in it first. Okay. And then I wanted to see, it's got a blue pump cam in the front, so that's pretty decent. I mean, I can put a brown pump cam in it if I have to. Thankfully, it already has a 50cc pump in the front, so that's good. So let's just go ahead and pull the front bowl off and let's see what it's got. Okay, 6.5. Well, that's most likely what the problem is. It has a standard 6.5 power valve in it, and it really needs to have probably an 8.5, maybe even a 10.5. Pretty drastic to have a 10.5, but unfortunately the only thing I have here tonight is the same as what you already got. So just for tonight, let's go ahead and pull this out, and I'm going to plug the power valve and jet the front up 10 jet sizes, and we'll take it back out and go for a drive, and I'll bet you throttle response is going to be really good, but when you cruise it, it's going to be like, it's going to sound like a real race car, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just temporary, just for tomorrow. It'll be okay. Now, this thing's going to sound a little rowdy, okay? When you're cruising it up the street, it's going to sound pretty rowdy. The nice thing about E85 is you can drive them around on the street really rich, and they won't foul plugs. If this was a gas carburetor, we wouldn't get by with this. Gasoline, you have to be very, very, very accurate with your fuel curve on gas. On E85, the tuning window is much wider, much wider. You can get by with a lot on E85 that you can't get by with on gas. So it's just going to sound pretty rowdy cruising it around. You might actually like it, but I think long term we'll want to put a power valve back in it. But this will get you by for tomorrow's testing.
Yeah.
I've got the carburetor all put back together. I want you to please turn the fuel pump on so that I can check for leaks before we try and start it. We're good. So anytime you've had a carburetor apart, pulling a bowl off, I don't care how simple the repair or the adjustment was, you always want to check to make sure that the boosters aren't dribbling any fuel, and these aren't. The float level looks just a little bit high in the front. It could just be maybe the fuel pressure is a little higher this year for some reason, maybe, I don't know, but it's just a little bit on the high side. We don't have any leaks. I think it's ready to fire up, and as long as it sounds okay when we fire it up, we'll take it around the block.
Okay. Sounds good. We're tuning carbonators.
Fuel make it happener?
Fuel making happeners. So I'm trying to get as much of this dialed in tonight as we possibly can, and I think it's going to be okay now. All right, let's set the hood back on this unit and go for a ride.
Good thing we kept the back seat, just for you, June.
Yeah, she don't miss a thing.
Just for you.
She's not going to miss a ride. Stop right here real quick and just see if it has this bog or this lean spot in it that it had. You ready?
Yeah.
Much better. Much better. All right, so I'm going to bring it up to 2,500, which that's pretty easy to get it to. Okay, that's 2,500, and it bumps in really easy. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Rowdy kid.
A little bit.
A little rowdy. I don't remember it being that rowdy before.
It wasn't.
So good news is really good throttle response. There's no lean spot there and there's no bog like we had a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
So I feel like this time I'm going to stage it about 2,000. Okay, it still bumps in really easy. Has no problem foot braking at 2,000.
Yeah.
So the lean spot is gone. That's a good thing. Let's see what it does. Oh my goodness, that's 3,000.
Yeah.
And you can bump it into 3.
Yeah.
Right now, baby. Right now. Woo! Holy shit, it turned sideways.
Dude, it's a different car.
It is a different freaking car.
Oh, I can't wait to test it tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so excited for you, honey. This is great. This is great. This thing runs. We don't have a time slip on it yet, but I'm telling you right now, last year it would not do that.
No.
Not even close.
No.
This thing's gonna run good. I think we're in good shape, kid. I think you can go test tomorrow.
I think I got the shifts down, but that's exactly what I want myself to think. Then I'm gonna go out there and I'm just gonna completely miss.
It's okay. Well, just like your dad said, just have
I'm
your
gonna
hand
pull
up
it back to third.
on top of the shifter. That way you can't push it forward. So.
Well, I'm not worried about pushing it forward. I'm more worried about I'm gonna go from first to third.
Yeah. Dude, that shifter is tricky.
Yeah.
Get you in there, back in the saddle.
Well, I think I'm ready. I think.
Love you.
Love you
Be
too.
safe. If anything funny happens, we got plenty of hits today, so just shut it down and.
I'm only gonna leave at like 2,000.
Oh,
Just
okay.
for the first one.
Yeah. We can test all sorts of things today.
Right. Yeah. The first one, I'm just trying to make a clean hit.
Knock the rust off.
Right. Exactly. I just want to practice getting the shifts down, and I'm not. This first one, I'm gonna give myself leniency on the tree, but the next one I will try.
Okay. Oh my. Oh my.
Actually kept pulling. Like it didn't stop. It didn't stop. It usually stops.
Dude, the Dart 1163.
Really?
Picked up 8/10.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The previous personal best was like 1237.
Look who it is.
I can't believe it, man.
New
Well, we
PB.
wish you were here.
Yeah, Jeff has a real job like we don't.
All right, we're gonna get back to it.
Alright, be careful.
All right, love you. Bye.
So 1163 at 114. New personal best by like 8 or 9/10.
I want to be excited, but I just gave myself a concussion.
Why?
I pulled a Tommy and I smacked my head on the top of the car.
Nice. Don't be like me.
1163, 735 to the 8th, which I think I can get a better number than that because I left pretty low. I left at 2,000 this time.
Well, we just gotta see what it likes.
Yeah, it was definitely a little hard to bump in at 2002. I was struggling, but
You flickered it
I
like 4 times. It's like you're the bracket racer of all time.
What can I say? Been what can I say?
Listen, there's nobody else here on the property that's been trip zip dead on 0. Okay, flicker the bulb 4 times. Come on.
You're embarrassing me.
What
Well,
are you gonna change in the tune-up for next round? Oh, I'm hitting the ND filter button. Hold on. Look at me, rookie cameraman. Okay, what?
I'm just gonna leave higher. That's all I need to
Leave
change.
higher?
That's all I need to change.
Yeah, I know. That's the joke. What'd you shift at?
I got nervous and I bumped it down a little bit because I couldn't remember what chip it was in it. Oh, it's got a 7,000 chip. I can bump it higher.
We should be shifting at 7.
I had it at 6,700.
I mean, I don't know. It just depends. It's things we gotta test out and see what it likes. You know.
Not that this is a huge change if I just bumped it up to 68.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can get ready and go make another one.
Yeah. All right.
No trailer.
You guessed perfectly. You're like, I think it's gonna be around like 1160s. You're dead on.
That's what I do.
It's pretty
Some
does.
bracket racer.
Yeah. What do you think, Steve?
I thought it was going to blow the tires off, but I didn't realize that it had such a tall gear back there. If it had like 430s or something back there, I feel like those
It's
tires.
got 410s in it, doesn't it?
373.
373?
Yeah. Street
I
car.
figured with that tire on it, having like a 430 or a 456, it would just annihilate those
Well,
tires.
it would if it did that. It run pretty good. I honestly think that last year, and well, since this car came to our family, it had valve float problems, I think, from the very beginning. And because a 340 should rev like this one does rev now, but it just never would. It just seemed like it would get to about 4,500 or 5,000, and it just started to lay down real bad.
Yeah.
And I think it was just mostly valve float, and it always had a rocker arm ticking in it, you know. But now, solid.
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 All right, let's go make some more hits.
Okay.
Look at you. You got the freaking sticker and everything. You're gonna start
Yeah.
stacking those.
Please, that'll never happen again.
Turn it red.
So, I thought the timing system malfunctioned when that happened. I was like, there's no way. After I got excited, I'm like, no way.
Way.
Thanks.
All right, good luck. Be safe. Love you.
Love you too.
.65 at 114. Split up 200s. I wonder if it was in the 60.
The 60 was a little tiny bit better.
Oh, really?
It slowed down to the 340. So I'm thinking that maybe it doesn't like shifting as high as I have it right now.
Probably.
So I'm gonna turn the shift light back down. I might even,
Yeah, that's what this is for. We find out what it likes.
right.
But it's also a bracket car, so we just got to find what's the most consistent for the car and for you as a driver. So
Okay, I'm gonna bump it just a little bit lower than it was the first time. See if it likes that.
okay. $11.59.
Few things. I'm not loving the burnout from second to third. I think I might just try high gear this time, see if, I don't know.
Just second
I was
or just third?
just third.
Oh,
He
okay.
said either do high gear or 2 to 3, so
Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna help or not. That's what I'm here to figure out though.
If it does a crappy burnout, try back up and just do another one. But yeah, I mean, it's
Oh.
just a test and tune.
Right. Next thing, it loves shifting a little bit lower.
Yeah, which is
I had it
interesting
at-
because like the theory is they love RPM and
Right.
whatnot, but
Right, but
its peak torque
Yeah.
must just be in that like 65, 6600 RPM range.
yeah, I had it that was at 66, and I think that's the lowest I'm gonna go because the shift light just came on like when I crossed the finish line, which it's not a huge deal, but I only have a 7,000 chip in this, so I'm just gonna leave it there for now. Obviously it likes it, and yeah, I might try to leave just a little bit harder this time 'cause it feels good.
Okay. My advice is choose an RPM that just feels most comfortable for you to bump in. That's all.
I think yeah.
But it doesn't even have to be like it doesn't have to be dead on 2750 RPM. Like it can be in a range of
I
$2 grand to
was
2500.
I was so rusty for
It's
that
okay.
one. I don't know why the rust came out on the third pass for some reason.
It's okay.
Gonna
The
get-
biggest thing today was getting the new shifter down and just knocking the rust off. So this is what we're
really
here for.
not bad.
Right, yeah, it
Racing
seems like
it,
it's not too
it's-
bad. Pulled a 59 out now. See if
59 with a 9.
this is good. We're just testing theories, so
Just testing. see
plenty
what
of
it does.
time. This is what we're here to do. We're here to test and figure out where you're at. So
I'm gonna go red. I'm gonna
do it.
on
I want
purpose.
you to go red.
Yeah,
$765.
She did good.
So when are we gonna turn this on?
It's not wired yet. Just slow down there, Steve. All right, slow down.
Yeah. The other thing, I didn't have it up to the same temperature as last time.
That's what I
We were
kind of
sitting
thought
for so
too,
long.
because we sat there while they were cleaning the track for so
It's
long.
so hard to get heat into this car.
Yeah, that's
Unless
true.
it's super hot out. So
It's pretty consistent, honestly.
yeah,
bad.
no, it's definitely better than last year.
Yeah.
Last year was rough. It's a miracle.
Imagine what it's gonna run in the morning though, because our morning hits, like when we go 8 o'clock time trial on a Sunday, we're always half a tenth fast, and then it slows up a little bit when it gets hot. But
Make sure everything's tight.
yeah, time to check header bolts, intake bolts,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't see any fuel leaks. I don't even see any coolant leaks. Thank God.
No more water leak either.
Yeah, water leak.
All good?
I think so. I just want to go over and check
Not
all the
a
bolts and
drip,
stuff.
not a drip of fluid anywhere.
It's awesome.
You love to see it. I think we can officially say that it was worth it.
She was well worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because last year it would take, I think, 100 shot to get me to like 1150s. So
Yeah. Well, great success. Drove it to the track, drove it home. Gotta get ice cream now. Very successful. Much better outing than the other dart. Oh, hello. Hello, small child.
Move this bit. Oh,
Billy the kid's kid.
Hi, Goober.
Grandma had that made.
Hi, Goober. Hello. Oh, you're drooling. Here you go.
You got smiles?
Here you go.
Give Tommy a smile.